In 1993, Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada experienced the birth of a truly original idea. Matthew Clem, a local independent music promoter, took it upon himself to form a new local act. Originally intended to be an acoustic death metal band, Rounded Edges never achieved that goal. They did, however, achieve some local fans, the production of a music video, and even television media coverage. For a small-time band that started out as a joke, they managed to accomplish a lot within the year they were around. The lead singer, Matthew Clem, had been in business with his good friend Jason Heislip, helping out local bands in any way he could. This included producing a local zine, some compilation tapes, doing setup and teardown of shows, and anything else he could do to help. Matt wanted to know more about how to help the band, so he figured he might understand more if he was in a band himself. With no ability to play an instrument, Matt really wanted to sing. He wasn't sure what style he'd go with, but with influences like Metallica, Slayer, Faith No More, and Anthrax, it was sure to be unique. It was Matt who approached then guitar player J.C. Chiasson to see if he wanted to start a band. Jean-Charles Joseph Benoit Chiasson, an immigrant from Ottawa to Moncton, JC was always an avid musician, learning to play guitar and listening to all kinds of music ranging from Def Leppard, Metallica, Exodus, and many others. JC's unique ability to always remain focused and in a great mood made perfect sense to Matt to have as a lead axeman. Kenneth Reed was asked to join as a member of Rounded Edges to pound the skins for the band. Known then as Boofer, Ken had a great sense of humor and was a great fit into the band, as his love of life and looking for a good time always made them laugh. Ken was always a source of great inspiration and willing to go along with pretty much any kind of idiotic idea Matt had in mind. Ken was also responsible for co-writing the music and lyrics to Rounded Edges' big hit, Hanging Above. Chris Goldsmith, known to his Moncton friends as Cheese, was the final addition to Rounded Edges. Not really sure what he would play or do in the band, Matt knew that Cheese had to be part of his unique group. Simply put, Cheese cannot be described to anyone who doesn't know him. Being one of the most unique people the group has ever known, Cheese brought a certain weird quality to the band that really brought them together. Although most of his friends thought his brain was processed, they all knew he would be perfect. The band was formed and began jamming. Matt had already written a few songs, including their infamous song, Circa. Not having a fixed place to practice caused some problems, so in the early days they practiced at Matt's place as well as Ken's garage. Ken's place became the birthplace of Rounded Edge's first demo tape, Songs to Get Drunk By. Recorded in a single night and then mixed later, the band recorded some early versions of Sue's Hanging Above, Rotten Ronnie's, and an all-time favorite, The Virgin Bride. It also included an acoustic song performed by Cheese and Matt called Backseat Driving. This tape was released very quickly, and although the band thought of it as a joke really, they were really happy to have it released. Rounded Edges performed their first gig live at Moncton High School as a guest of Moncton High's Gong Show, put on by a local youth group. Being short-handed, the band asked local bass guru Sandy LeClaire to fill in for Cheese. The band performed one song, Virgin Bride, and was in fact kicked off the stage twice, and both cheered and booed by the crowd. They were very, very proud of their first performance. In the fall of 1993, the band went through some major changes that would alter their ideas, thoughts, and ultimately their sound. Ken Reed exited the band for personal reasons, but remained good friends with everyone, and in fact made an appearance on their second demo. JC switched from playing guitar to playing drums as he discovered he could actually play them. Cheese switched onto playing bass, and they introduced Chris Clark and Jason Heislip into the band. Chris did not stay very long, but did help to write a few pieces to a song called Time Travel. Jason remained with the band as the lead guitar player, and this lineup remained fixed until the band parted ways. The new lineup also gave way to several fixed places for jamming, which allowed the band to really work on their songs and become more and more tight. Hanging Above quickly became a good old-fashioned rock and roll song, and Reign of Lies and My Thoughts Invade Me quickly followed, and the band began to really solidify their sound and style. Taking the dive, they started playing jam nights in town. Fat Tuesdays, The Press Box, Shipyard, and Los Mos all saw Rounded Edges work out some of their songs to try and create a following and a little bit of buzz around town. These live shows helped the band to become acquainted with performing live and interacting with an audience. This led to the recording of their second demo, Counterclockwise. This demo contained newer versions of some of the older songs and all of their new material. A song called Voices featured former drummer Ken and Matt's first attempt at playing a frying pan. They worked very hard to get this demo recorded and sounding good, but ultimately were not able to release it because of production problems. In early 1994, they shot a video for the song Hanging Above. Shot over a weekend in Moncton and Shediac, New Brunswick by their good friend Russell Munday, Jason and Matt took the footage to Newcastle, New Brunswick, where they were interviewed by a local cable news show, and they debuted the video there. The cable station was nice enough to let them use their video editing equipment to splice the video together. Rounded Edges submitted the video to Much Music for play, and they were in fact in the rotation for the alternative music show Outer Limits, but their original copy was damaged during the final dub of the show and the video never aired. During the spring and early summer of 1994, the band began to experience some problems. They were not jamming as much, and they were having a much harder time writing new music and new songs. They had begun work on a new tune called Change of Season, but found it very difficult to get into. It was also during this time that bass player Cheese began missing more and more jam sessions due to his work. This eventually led to Cheese's leaving the band due to his time constraints. Everyone was still good friends, just life moving on. This ultimately led to the band's demise. With changing lifestyles and new focuses in life, the band found it harder and harder to get together, and without a full-time bass player, they lacked in their sound. In summer of 1994, they played their last show at Slater's on Elmwood Drive in Moncton, New Brunswick. Considered by their singer to be their best performance, Chris Clark stepped up and filled in as bass player, and the band played a kick-ass performance. They rounded their set off with their first, and would be only, rendition of Bacon Cheddar Curly Fries live during the middle of Hanging Above. This led to a round of applause and laughter, and the sound man just completely giving up on them. With that show behind them, the band never played live again. Although the friends kept in contact, the band faded. Jason and JC continued to hack out a few more changes to some of the Rounded Edges songs, but this ultimately never went anywhere. Several years later, Matt gathered a pile of their jam recordings and found some of the 4-track stuff and recorded it to CD. He gave each member of the band a copy as a memento of the days of Rounded Edges. In June of 2004, the band members reunited for a 10-year reunion. Although they were rusty in playing, they managed to hammer out most of the classics and even enjoyed playing a few new covers. They had a great time, and the reunion went out with a bang, with Matt destroying the guitar he had written his first song on. Perhaps not the best band, and perhaps not the worst, Rounded Edges were in fact unique. Starting off as 4 guys that led to 6 guys that ended as 3 guys, it was all about friends and having a good time.
But there are no walls. taken a gift, but the walls reappear at the sight of a loss. One that I fear falls with me as I sit or wait. If the walls become so, my love becomes hate. Pain and anger that I feel, demons inside of what I intend to conceal. Around to share the pain, in itself and nothing to gain. After being gone for such a long time, everything seems to change, except what's in mine. So I still am with the time, love that is mine. There's no doubt and at the same time, love is passing by, and each bit of sin I feel even more alive. Hanging above, hanging above, hanging above.